Hey y'all, APG Jamie here. Welcome to the channel. I'm happy that you're here too. So today we're making a simple journal. Actually, it's kind of an accidental journal. I didn't have a lot of mojo. Y'all know sometimes that happens. And so I just went out to the studio because sometimes I just want to sit in my space. Okay, maybe that's what you want to do. Of course, it's a mess, you know. I keep talking about cleaning it up and stuff and just can't quite seem to get around to it. But anyway, I decided to grab a big pile. Well, I have I have a big pile of stuff stacked up, scraps, and it does include some Happy Meals and stuff like that in it, and treasures and, you know, stuff. Anyway, I thought I would put together some studio cleanup folder stuff. So I just kind of started shuffling it, and then I kind of went, you know, down a rabbit hole and started finding stuff that I liked it together, sort of like we do with the studio cleanup folders, sort of. Only this time it looked like it was going to basically be a 6x6 size. So I did. I just kind of gathered up whatever I felt like. I ended up with 4 pages, just so you know in advance. And they're all kind of really pre-assembled, sort of put together, you know. And we're just going to be gluing them together. I decided, I know it's a bunch of decisions going on. So much for mindless studioing. So I thought, well, 6x6 is good. And then some of the things I thought, I want it kind of hanging off. And I thought, well, you know, just put it on a bigger base, right? So I went with, in general, an 8x8. It's actually more like an 8x9 because I'm allowing some spine space. Spine space. Not book crack gap, Popo. Not that. Spine space. So, I got out the truRay construction paper. It comes from the Hobby Lobby, for those of you who don't speak Texican. And cut those down to whatever size I previously mentioned. And now we're adhering our main 6x6 piece. I know, it's just layers upon layers. But they're relatively simple, in my opinion, layouts. No, my opinion. Y'all remember that paper? We used it as like it was a slice of ham. Y'all remember? I don't know the name of that video, so it probably won't be linked. I know, it makes you sad. And this is a piece of scrap. That's a digital from B Group, and started rounding the corners. And I have that one rounder on there. It's like not necessarily too happy to punch thinner paper, so I doubled that. Y'all saw me fiddling with that. Now we're going to ink the edge of it because we're using scorched timber. I know, it's the biggest shock you've ever heard, right? Anyway, just using the metal ruler there just to hold the edge. And that picture is from a piece of, well, I'm going to say junk mail. It's from the Museum of Fine Arts, y'all. It's in Houston. It's this big town to the south of us. This is another B scrap, just saying, because I know what that one is. Some of these scraps, I'm like, I don't know. I've had them for, you know, a while. We've not made any studio cleanup folders for a while. We've got less than 20 folders now, so I probably should put some together. Anyway, it is printed on what's that stuff called? Acetate, transparency, something like that. Anyway, just trimming it up because I'm like, I want a little less. I like it, but I want a little less. So we got it, and some of these items I'm gluing down so they can be used as a pocket. Just because it's a pocket doesn't mean you have to use it as a pocket. But you can. So I believe that's a Gauguin painting. It's a picture of a Gauguin painting. I think. And I decided to use a diamond glaze on it because that seems to work pretty well for the acetate transparency, whatever that stuff is. I also like to use double-sided tape for that too. And I almost got it all smeared out so that you can't tell see where it's kind of gray looking. Yeah, not quite, but you know, it's all right. It's just my little journal, and chances are nobody's ever going to turn a page in it except me. Not sad, just truth. We're using a lot of art glitter glue. I do not show you the cover that I made from faux chipboard, which means it's from a cereal box. I did cover that with scrapbook paper, which is listed in the ingredients below the video. ... more. And this is just a die cut that was hanging out on my desk or in the pile, wherever it was, IDK. I saw somebody in a video do this. They had, you know, the silicone brush thing, you know, to use for barbecue. And they dipped it in their glue and went diddy-dot, diddy-dot, diddy-dot. And I thought, well, that was brilliant. And I'm so sorry. I don't remember who you were. And it's been a while. Anyway, just saying. So we got that smooshed on there. That particular black background is a portion of a 12 by 12 calendar. Because, you know, I have calendars. And when I don't, when the calendar's out of date, you know, the pictures are still good. You can use the numbers too if you really want to. So this turned out was a washi sticker. I think it came in Happy Mail. Pretty sure. Not going to stake my life on it because, you know, sometimes things can sit in my pile for a few years. Just being honest. It's the name of my game. And I didn't necessarily want to see through it because that's one of the beauties of washi stickers and washi tape is, you know, you get a certain amount of translucency. Anyway, I didn't want that. So I put it on a piece of white cardstock and we trimmed it out. And now we're just going around it with scorched timber. And yeah, I think that just about catches us up on everything. I think just about, mostly, sort of. Oh, back to the cover. I used, I said scrapbook paper. It's a copyweight paper. And originally I thought to do a Japanese stab binding, but I didn't. I just did a, oh, well, I guess we'll wait and we'll see when we get there. So I'm using my fancy Dear Julie butterfly antenna trick, where you actually cut off the antenna that came on the butterfly, because this is a Dollar Tree butterfly. I know that because when they had them, I bought more than one package of each color they had. So I have some on stock. It's my stash, y'all. Anyway, you just, you know, get you a piece of black thread or gold or whatever color thread you want, and then you just kind of bend it in the middle and smoosh it together with a little spit on your thumb and index finger. Put some glue on the back, and then I usually put a little piece of scrap paper on there just to help reinforce the thread on there. And then we put it on, and I put just a teensy tiny bit of glue to put the antenna on, you know. And this is a piece of that fancy metallic finish paper that I got from that art store down in Houston, whose name I can't think of, the big giant one. Anyway, it was from the kids section. Just saying. So it's all of the papers in there were metallic finish, but they're paper on the back, and it's almost a copy weight. It's like a double copy weight, but not chip or not cardstock weight. Anyway, I'm just adding a little bit more of the darkness, scorched timber. And I just took that scrap of cardstock, ripped it, and then just kind of diddy-dotted around with the scorched timber. That is packaging from a Timmy item. I don't know what item. Don't no matter. But you know we like his packaging because it's grungy already. I know we're covering up most of that shiny paper. I put some weight on it sometimes. And then this is a piece of, that's one of those free, and the word free is in quotes, okay, because you actually pay for it when you buy the magazine. Anyway, free paper from one of the Somerset's magazine. I don't know where that image is from. It came on junk mail, pretty sure. Could have even been on an envelope. I don't know. But I liked it, so I kept it, right? And then it was one of the first things that I put together, and that's why I decided, well, I just better make a journal. And we're going to put a quote on there. Now, let me tell you about this quote. This quote appears in the Coffee News, which is a little advertisement kind of newspapery thing that they put out at the local restaurants. Y'all might have it in your area if you're in the United States. It's called the Coffee News. Anyway, they put quotes and horoscopes and ads and local happenings and junk like that in there. It's fun to read when you're waiting for your food to come. Anyway, this quote is by Dave Chappelle. I like Dave. And it says, the hardest thing to do is to be true to yourself, especially when everybody's watching. I mean, to tell you what, did he hit that nail on the head? I mean. Anyway, and that's a leaf, dried, flattened, not pressed, but, you know, well, when it dried, it flattened itself out. Leaf. So, yeah, we got that. And now we're getting ready to do the binding. Now, I come back later, but you don't see that part. I come back later and get rid of half of that spine edge because I couldn't make my papers or my inside papers. I couldn't make them flip around, y'all. Like I said, originally it was going to be Japanese stab binding, and then, as the day wore on and the longer I farted around out there, the tireder I got, and I thought, nope, I'm not doing Japanese stab binding. We're just going to do some holes and some eyelets and, seam binding. So anyway, I will shorten that 1 inch to about half an inch, probably so. We're lining it all up. See, that's one's front and one's a back cover, but they're the same. So right now, it doesn't matter which is which. Not yet. Not till we put the front on. That's when it matters, when you put the front on. So I couldn't see my hole, so I had to come back with an ink pen because the pencil, I just couldn't see it, y'all. Just couldn't do it. And I did put some extra blank pages in here in case I should happen to find and assemble other things. And if I don't, it's okay, y'all. Journals do not have to be complete to be complete, if you know what I mean. If you know, you know. Anyway, we did, I think the scrapbook paper that I used is the Paper Studio. To be sure, you want to check the ingredients as mentioned, as listed below. And it's the Theodosia square. I really like that. I've used it quite a bit. Even it's a big, thick one, or I don't even know if they have them anymore, y'all. From the Hobby Lobbies, or Hobbit Lobbit if you're Texican. Well, that's what I call it anyway. So there we are punching our pages, and I did round the outside corner of the inside pages. You can't see me, but I'm lining that out. Just punch them holes. Get the other cover, back cover, or the front cover. I don't know which is which yet, because it doesn't matter yet. It'll matter in the end, but not yet. So we dyed some seam binding using whatever sprays I sprayed it with. I don't remember, y'all, and I would lie if I didn't film it because we just sprayed some seam binding, and now I'm putting some glue on the end and kind of twisting it up. So it'll be nice and stiff when the glue dries, so you can use it like a needle instead of a needle. Okay? Okay. Heat gun, y'all. Because I used heat gun on some of it. And then I was going to, go up and down, and then I decided, no, let's just go side to side. We're going to thread all our pages on there, starting from the back and going towards the top. And it was after that I first did this, and then I thought, well, my pages on the inside don't turn so well. For one thing, don't over tighten your bow when you tie your bow. And for another thing, I needed a smaller spine piece there. Instead of an inch, I trimmed it down to half an inch. But you don't get to see that part because Sometimes I don't share everything with you. And sometimes I usually do tell you, though. So, there we are. And we will have a little flip through and a photo montage, but not yet. You have to wait for that. And I put eyelets in there. I went with the orangey color because that's kind of what we got going. And the little thing the little topper cluster thing that I'm going to put on top, we made that in a previous video. If I can find it, I will try to link to it, but no guarantees, y'all. You know me. So I'm cutting off the little stiff end because I don't need it no more. We got it all threaded up. Well, except I did because I come back and I trim it when nobody's looking. But it's the same thing. And clear that away. Okay. Now we're going to get our topper. And I did weight it down for a little while. I did let it dry for a little bit. And what's a little bit? I don't know, 20, 30 minutes? No, probably more like 15 minutes. Using our Aleene's Original Tacky glue because, you know, it's my favorite. Then there's our glitter glue. Yeah. And yeah, I know it's not in the center because I wanted it down there in the corner like that. Wait on it, y'all. Wait on it. There's some actual weight. 5 pounds to be exact. Dumbbell. So here's our little flip-flop. See, it's not tied real tight because you want to be able to flip your inside pages. Oh, hello, phone. I better move that before it starts ringing or something silly like that. So y'all might remember that cluster. I'll try to link to it. Hopefully I can find it, y'all. It's fairly recent, this year. So there's our first page because that was the one that started it all. And see, it's pocket. It's got 2 pockets. Not all the pages have a pocket, but you know, I like them. See. Oh, I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's why I trimmed the little spine piece. Pocket. The rest of it's not pocket. That's my husband's favorite page, just in case you was wondering. Pocket, not pocket. Pocket, not pocket. I like that one. Oh, what's that one say? That one's got the, that's a little calendar picture. What did the calendar picture say? I got to flip to it. I got it right here. I can't read it. I don't know what it says. It's a secret. Something about tea and happiness and stuff. Make up your own saying if you need a saying to make up. So that's it. And it can be, you know, disassembled. And we do have some extra blank pages in there. So get ready. Ta-da! Photo montage. Isn't that fun? Well, it was fun for me. I can only assume that you're having fun watching it, right? Isn't that fun? I know, fun, more fun. It's a fun picture, right? And the quote works so well with it, I think. It's like serendipity just falls all over the place sometimes. Just does. And I used a little bit of that leftover scrap of B's digital there. Yep, can't read it on my little tiny editing screen. I don't know, y'all. It says something funny or inspirational. You know, that's what it says. I'm telling you that's what it says. Therefore, that is what it says. Something inspirational. I appreciate each and every one of you. Kind comments, like, shares, subscriptions. I hope I've earned that today. Thanks for watching. And happy artin', y'all. Inspirational, y'all.